What's up, everybody? So in this video, we're going to be talking about opioid medications and the opioid epidemic. So if you guys have ever heard of Percocet, Norco, stay tuned to learn more. So in a lot of rap and hip hop culture, we hear like lyrics being thrown out about like Molly, Percocet, Norco. So Norco and Percocet are actually medications that are like prescribed to patients that are given through a pharmacy, but they do have a high risk of abuse. So what is Norco? What is Percocet? So these are generally strong painkillers that kill your pain. They numb your pain down. So why are they so popular in culture? The reason is because they have a side effect of euphoria. Euphoria meaning feeling really, really good. It's like a very high state of mind. So you feel very happy. You feel very relieved of any stress or any pain you have. So how do these painkillers work? So in your body, you have these receptors called mu receptors, and these mu receptors, when they get turned on, they give you an analgesic effect, which meaning it's going to help relieve your pain or numb your pain. So when you take the drug, it's called a mu agonist. So basically it goes into your body, it binds to the receptor, and it causes that pain-killing effect. Now let's go back into the topic of why these drugs are so popular. Like I mentioned earlier, it says it causes euphoria, so really, really good feelings in your mind. So that's one reason why it's a kind of a drug of abuse, because people get addicted to it. They get addicted to that good feeling. It's like a coping mechanism. So people, you get addicted to alcohol or other drugs, so they always want to have more and more and more to keep that high going. So we talked about why they're addicted, because it makes you feel very good. But there's also another side effect that I didn't mention. It's called respiratory depression. Respiratory means your lungs or your breathing. Depression means lower. So when you're taking opioids, it has an adverse effect or a bad side effect called respiratory depression, meaning your lungs stop working or they don't kind of work properly, so you're not breathing. So if you're taking opioids and your lungs aren't working properly, that means you're not breathing, and you're very numb to the pain, you don't realize that, and then you just basically suffocate to death. So that's when people do opioid overdose. They basically choke themselves to death. So this is where the danger comes in the opioid epidemic, because people get addicted to these medications and then they overdose and through respiratory depression usually, and then they pass away. Now, we talked about the euphoric version of getting addicted, but there's another way you can get addicted to opioids. Opioids, you get addicted through just basically pain management. So without getting too nitty-gritty into like the physiology of it, when you're taking opioid medications, it numbs your pain. So you take it for a week, maybe 2 weeks. People who are on chronic opioids, and then they need a higher dose to kind of help get that same pain management, the same pain-killing effect that they previously got. And so you guys can see it kind of goes up. Your dose gets higher and higher. Now, so let's say whatever, they had surgery, they had any other medical issue where they needed pain management, and now they don't need the opioids anymore. So when they get off the opioids, they start feeling pain again. Not because there's anything wrong with them, it's their body got used to the pain-killing effects of opioids, and now their body's feeling pain because of the absence of opioids, and thus they need to get opioids again to help just manage that pain. Those are two main reasons why opioids get abused in our society. It's a very unfortunate aspect, because opioids can and are used properly in terms of there are people who actually need opioids and they get opioids to help manage their pain, but there's also a subset of populations where they also need opioids, but they might get too much opioids and they get addicted to the opioids, and that changes their life forever, where they need to go to rehab. So it's a big epidemic in our society. So what our government has done to help regulate this is they make opioids or make any sort of like drugs of high risk of abuse a controlled medication. Controlled medication meaning there's limited scope of prescribing it. It's evaluated more thoroughly than other medications, let's say like aspirin, which is not as dangerous as an opioid. So there's more of a monitoring parameter for these people getting these opioids, but it still is an epidemic, and people, and especially prescribers, need to be aware of the high risks of opioids.